So if I look up here on the board, it says solve the following equations. And so the first one is c minus 22 equals 54. So in order to solve the equation, I need to get the variable on one side and then equals and then a number. And so if I look at this, I've got c minus 22. How do I undo that? How do I solve this equation? Yep, I'm going to add 22 to both sides. Now whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, remember? And so on the left side, what ends up happening is your negative 22 and your positive 22 cancel, and that leaves you with c, which is what you wanted. And so now I need to add the 54 and the 22 together. So by lining them up, I take 4 plus 2 and I get 76. Yep, and then 5 plus 2, 76 is going to be your final answer. Okay, pretty basic. So what I want you to do is go ahead and solve this one. Okay, 113 equals g minus 25. 113 equals g minus 25. When you get your answer, I want you to type it into the expressions. Okay, so let's see what your answers are. Answer is 138. Nice job. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next one. Okay, j minus 87 equals negative 3. J minus 87 equals negative 3. Okay, let's see what you got. The answers are 84. Okay? So all you're doing here is you're adding 87. This is something you did last chapter. You're adding 87 to both sides. So really the problem that you have is negative 3 plus 87. That's all you're doing. Negative 3 plus 87. It's not going to be 90 because it's negative 3. Okay? It's not going to be negative 84 because the 87 is positive. All right, what you need to do is subtract the 2 and you should get 84. Okay, so now let's look at this one. 63 plus m equals 79. 63 plus m equals 79. What do you do? Subtract what? Yep, subtract 63 from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 63 from both sides. On the left, 63 minus 63, they cancel. That leaves you with m. On the right, what do you have? 16. Good job. Okay, so m equals 16. So with that in mind, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and do that one right there. Okay? Negative 12 equals p plus 16. All right, we need to be finishing up. Okay. The answer is negative 28. Good. So where the negative 28 comes from is that in order to solve this, we need to subtract 16 from both sides. So then what ends up happening is you have negative 12 and negative 16, which is negative 28. That's just a problem we did last chapter. Okay, so this is nothing new. You're just adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. Okay, so let's look at this one. Now you're going to add fractions to the mix. So you have 2/3 times q equals negative 1/2. Now normally you would be told, oh, I'm going to divide by 2/3, right? Okay, I don't like to divide by fractions. I like to just multiply by the reciprocals from the beginning. So what's the reciprocal of 2/3? 3/2. Yep, so I'm going to multiply by that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and multiply by the 3/2. So I'm just going to take the reciprocal of whatever the number in front of the variable is. Notice how everything cancels and that leaves you with q. On the right side, I have 1 times 3 on the top, 2 times 2 on the bottom. What fraction am I left with? 3/4. Okay. So all we're doing is we're multiplying by the reciprocal. It's the same thing as dividing, you're just cutting out a step. With that in mind, I want you to do this one now. When you're entering this in your expressions, you're going to look for the slash sign. Okay, and that's how you're going to enter the fraction in. I want you to enter these in as improper fractions. So I don't want mixed numbers. Okay, impropers. Just have to hit it twice. Now that 0, if you're trying to enter it in, you're going to have to hit that 0 twice. The first time I'll give you a space. The next time I'll give you a 0, but you have to hit it fairly quick. All right, answer is 50 divided by 3. Okay, nice job. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at how we got that. For some reason it didn't mark it, but that is correct, 50 divided by 3. Okay, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 5/3. When we do that on the left, you have k. On the right, you have 10 times 5 on the top, which is 50, divided by 3. All right, let's look at the next one. This one's got a negative in there. Okay, negative 1/4 equals 2/3 times n. Negative 1/4 equals 2/3 times n. And the answer is -3/8. Nice job. Okay. I don't know why it's not marking them correct, but on this one you needed to multiply by 3/2. So you have 3 times -1, which is -3/8. Okay? So one-step equations, you've got to be able to solve these. That's the bottom line. Okay? You've got to be able to solve these at least for the entire year. And so the assignment is going to look a little bit long, but you actually have time now to work, so you should be able to get close to half of it done if you work. Pages 86 through 87, 18 through 60, the evens.